Hello, everyone. My name is Thomyia Wright, and today I will be conducting a report briefing on my photography business. So, the objective of this briefing is to improve the efficiency and consistency of my business and client satisfaction by refining workflow, communication, and delivery processes. In this briefing, we will discuss 3 key performance indicators. The first will be editing turnaround time. The second would be consistent branding. And the third would be client relation management, as known as CRM or client communication. As mentioned, we'll start with the editing turnaround time. The problem in this instance is that turnaround of deliverables or photos just has been taking entirely too long. And what that means is usually the turnaround, it usually varies by the project, but lately it's been taking about a month to get a return on something that usually takes about 2 weeks. Granted, turnaround can take longer than expected sometimes, but it usually varies by the project. It has various reasons. It varies by busyness of schedule, the number of images in a project, the amount of projects, lighting issues in the photos, and or equipment failure, which could be a simple fix or it could be more troublesome, which could take a little bit longer to fix. So the overall goal of this KPI is to reduce our turnaround time and get it back to average. Our next KPI is branding. And what's a business without branding? The problem here is that branding is inconsistent. The situation with inconsistency is that there are multiple niches being represented, which can confuse prospective clients. Say I have 2 options. On option 1, I offer one niche. Option 2, I offer another. So say if a prospective client is looking at my website or my social media wanting option 2, which I'm transitioning to, but all that they see that I'm representing is option 1, then I've lost the client. So the goal here is to focus on one niche to build a consistent clientele and then branch off into others if I'm interested. The third and final KPI of this presentation is the client relationship management or client communication. The problem in this instance is that client onboarding and communication isn't streamlined and it needs to be more manageable. And the situation is that the CRM method is underutilized by not using all of its benefits. All of the features are not used because of disorganization, simply put. So communication and the CRM would be better if it were better organized for easier use and for better communication principles. The goal here is to better familiarize myself with the CRM method and to just be better organized and have a better streamline of communication for clients and myself. In the past month, I've been able to measure the changes in the 3 KPIs. With editing turnaround, I've been able to create a more strategic schedule for post-production stages. This includes culling images, editing images, and sending them off for delivery. I've also been able to allot myself more time for larger projects and honestly giving myself more grace for the amount of projects that I may have. The important piece of this is to always communicate with my clients the stages of their projects. I've also achieved a lot in my branding. I've been able to be more consistent by focusing on one niche, and that has improved engagement and niche specific bookings. So instead of someone booking me for something that I don't offer, it's now more known to my audience that what I offer and what they will receive. I'd also like to note that client communication has been easier as well. I've also been able to more familiarize myself with the system and organize it to where I can just input the specifics for the project instead of making it more difficult on myself. There are some challenges and risks along the way. So with the editing turnaround, photography is actually a lot more complex than people may think. It's more than just taking a picture, uploading them to the computer, and sending them off. There's a lot of attention to detail, and it could be harder depending on the actual conditions of the photo shoot or the shooting conditions. And that can include lighting or anything that obscures the vision of the photographer and the lens. So like I said, editing is very detail oriented, and it varies and is different depending on the project or the niche of the project. A challenge with communication is that inconsistent communication can lead to misunderstandings and fewer bookings, and that defeats the purpose. So it's always best to never assume that someone understands what's going on the other end of things or behind the scenes. It's always just best to be communicative and to understand. A challenge with branding is that it can be hard sometimes to stay consistent, but it's always important to remember that inconsistent branding leads to fewer bookings. There are some things that can be improved along the way. I can make room to improve in marketing and outreach, and also I can always just continue to streamline my workflow. In conclusion, my editing turnaround has been reduced by being more strategic in my post-production. There has been more client onboarding due to consistent branding, and the clients that I do have, my communication has improved tremendously by being more organized and strategic. Thank you for watching this briefing, and have a good